it's me. I'm everywhere.
I was like, we can't escape her. We're doing a question and answer. We took all of your guys' tweets and I compiled them in a little list that none of you can see except for me.
So she could just make them all up.
I am the ruler of all of the questions.
Okay,
What's
good.
up, guys?
Hello, baby.
My favorite part of the day is when you post photos of Gus.
Yes, he's very photogenic.
So I thought it would be easy if we started. Someone asked this one, and it was, how long have me and you known each other, and what's a favorite food that we share? And I was like, that's kind of the perfect question for us.
That's so perfect. We were supposed to get more food, and then the quarantine happened.
Oh, I know. We met
I was like, we already said.
Was it 2018?
Sounds right. Yeah. At a convention.
Yeah, we were both.
And it was so funny.
Yeah, we were both guests. Oh, wait. I'm going to tell this part.
Okay.
It's my favorite part. So, On was actually one of the first cosplays I ever made, was Panther On. And so I got invited to be a guest at this convention in New Orleans, MechaCon, and both me and Erika were guests. And so we got picked up at the airport together by the con. And so we were sitting there kind of talking, and I was like, oh, like, I'm Reagan. She's like, I'm Erika. And I was like, what do you do? She was like, I'm a voice actress. And I was like, oh, that's so amazing. That's really cool. What do you voice? And she was like, probably nothing that you'll know. And I was like, oh.
I don't know.
Okay. I was like, well, like what? And she was like, I'm On in Persona 5. And I was like, hold the front door. And then I think I like sat there and I was like, I cosplay On. And she was so like, exciting. I am On.
It was a friendship at first sight.
Yeah,
and
beautiful. Then we like hung out the whole time, like whenever we were at panels and everything.
Cool.
The next tour about Gus.
Yay, he left.
They said, it's okay, we already saw him. They said, what
good.
makes Gus such a lovable buddy? This one was by Real Magic Maddie.
Oh, well, he is just a good soul inside and out. He's like, I've almost never in his life heard him growl or anything. He's like so sweet. His one job is to live forever. So far, so good.
Roger wins this one. So it says if either you or Erika have played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, how did we react to Joker and some of the other Persona 5 characters?
Oh, that's a fun story. Not everything, but a lot of things I work on, especially if they're top secret, have code names. So even when I go in to work on something, I sometimes don't know what it is until I get there. So a studio that like I don't work with that often emailed me and they were like, we have some, new stuff for this game with like a code name. And part of me was like, do they think I've worked on this game before? Because I definitely haven't. But then I like wanted to work on whatever it was. So I was like, okay, cool. And I like didn't point out that I hadn't been in whatever this was before. And so I show up at the studio on the day of, and I assume it's like, I don't know, just something else. Obviously, I'm not thinking Smash Brothers. And Erika Limbeck was walking out of the studio. And so she was like, hey, do you know what you're here for? And I was like, no. And then she like pauses and she goes, have fun. And then she just walks away. And I was like, that's worrying. I don't know what that means. So I go in and I'm like, what could it be? But then I was like, is it like some kind of Persona something? Because like she said it in a way that was like, I would know what it is. And we're both in Persona. So I was like, maybe. So I go in and they make me do all the paperwork first, like all the NDAs and everything. And, it's still like code name, blah, 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 blah. And then they bring me into the room. And then there's two people from Nintendo there. And they're like, hey, we're from Nintendo. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then on the screen is a video of On, like, because they needed her vocal reference. And I was like, are we doing Persona? Like, this is not the studio we do Persona at usually. And then they were like, well, today we're going to be recording Smash Brothers.
And I
lost it. Yeah, I was like, what? And I started like freaking out and I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And I was like, is it Joker? Is Joker the first DLC character? And they were like, yes. What? And I was like, oh my God. And they were like, and you all are going to talk. You're all going to be in the all out attacks and like, you're going to talk. You're going to be on the stages. And I was like, oh my God. And so I freaked out for like 5 minutes and they were like laughing. They were like, this is great. And even like, so they started setting me up on the mic and I would still be like, I'd be calm for like 30 seconds and I'd be like, this is so cool.
Okay, the next one says, aside from An, who is your favorite Phantom Thief? And who's your favorite non-PT Phantom Thief confidant?
Ooh, okay.
By Don Quixote 06.
Okay, I like them all so much, so they're like very closely tied, but my favorite is probably Ryuji. I love him so much. He's so loud and dumb, and I love him. And
he gets
so
such a bad rep.
I know, he's amazing. I love him. Elsie has a really good heart, and he's
so good.
Yes, he everyone's like, he's do the right thing.
Yeah, they're like, what a delinquent, and I'm like, he's not a delinquent. He's amazing. Don't say bad things about my husband.
I love him so much. Yeah, he's my husbando. I love him so much. And then my favorite non-Phantom Thief confidant is probably Hifumi, because I accidentally kind of dated her in my first playthrough.
Okay, they said, what was the hardest thing about voicing Lady An in Persona 5? This is by Anime Game Lover 63.
Well, there was one week where, so Persona has a lot of lines, like a lot of lines.
It's like almost fully voice acted. Like,
yes. It's so much. Like that is the longest I've worked on a game, I'm pretty sure. And there was a period of time kind of in the middle of it where I was working on this game like 4 or 5 days a week, which is like crazy. I never work on a project that many times in a week. There was one Friday where I was just like, I don't know if I can make it through. The director, Val, who is an amazing person, she was like, hey, come out here for a second. And she like takes me into the kitchen and she gets out a spoon and she pours like this syrup onto it. And she's like, here you go. And I was like, what is this? Like, are you poisoning me? And she's like, no, eat this and then you'll be fine. And I was like, okay. So I took this syrup, which now I have some in my own kitchen because it's amazing. It's called Nimjam Pipe Koa or something. And it's like this Chinese, it says Chinese cough syrup, but it's not cough syrup. It's like throat soothing stuff. And I put it in tea. But at that point, I just took a whole spoonful of it and it was like magical. I swallowed it and then I was like, whoa, I sound back to normal again. And then we went and we did the last hour that I needed to do. And then I went home and like couldn't talk for the whole weekend.
So who do you ship on with? This is by Official Hooded Hamilton.
All right, this is a controversial question.
It's okay. I know the answer and I agree with you.
Yes. Okay. So I have to preface this with a story.
Oh, I'm ready.
So I ship on, I guess I'll say what my ship is and then I'll tell the story. I personally, this is not canon, I ship on with Ryuji. I really, really like them together. I think they're super cute. But so I did like a little panel at the anime club of my old college like a couple years ago. And I said that when I was there because people asked. And at the time, I didn't think it was like that controversial because it's like a personal opinion and like, you know, whatever. And then I forget how I found this out, but someone who was in that room went on Reddit and then was like, Erika Harlacher says that she ships An and Ryuji. And then a bunch of people below were like, that bitch, how dare she?
Don't get on Reddit. That's like the number one rule.
Really, seriously. So now I have to say, which is true, I ship An and Ryuji, but I don't hate An and Joker. I think they're really cute. Like they're a very valid ship.
But that's I like that one because Joker is me in the game. So to me, it's me and An or An and Ryuji.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, Joker purposefully doesn't have like a big personality because he's supposed to be you. So that's why I like ship her more with one of the characters that has like a more developed personality, because Joker could be anything. So he might be really perfect for her in somebody's playthrough, but he might not be so perfect for her in somebody else's.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, the chat is all saying that they also like
right? I love them. They're so cute. And there are a lot of lines in the game that make me think that they like each other. And so we recorded...
They definitely like each other.
Right? They totally do.
They definitely like each other.
We recorded the whole story first before we did any of the like side stuff or like the battle stuff or the love stuff. And so we got through the entire story, and by the end, you know, I'd been recording for months, and I was like hardcore on Ryuji, super ship it. And so the director's like, okay, now we're gonna record the love route. for On. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, Joker can date On and then they fall in love. And I was like, but what about Ryuichi?
But no.
Yeah. I was like, do you think he'll be upset? And they were like, no, it's fine, Erika.
Okay, this one's a 7 Deadly Sins one.
Ooh.
It says, with how much Elizabeth says Meliodas' name, does that ever get stuck in your head after recording?
I wouldn't say it gets stuck in my head, but I do consider it her catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it got to the point where we said it so much that now I just really like it. So I'm like really excited
to say it.
Yeah, like when we were doing like the previous season, whenever we would do a vocal ref, for some reason so a vocal ref, for those who don't know, is when we go in and do a character that we've done previously, like either a previous day or like for 7 Deadly Sins is like a previous year. They have lines that they've pulled that they'll play for us, and then we repeat them. So they'll play a line that I did, and then I repeat the line, and they do that for like a couple to get back into voice. They didn't pull Sir Meliodas, and I was like,
this is her main line, guys.
Yes. So I started just saying it after all the lines.
I clicked something. I hate it when I click something and I'm like, oh no, what just happened?
The trick is to just not touch anything. That's what I do.
And I was like, ah!
Except now that I'm recording from home, I have to like be in charge of like clicking things, and I often forget. And then the engineer's like, you are really too loud.
Literally, actually, the next question is, do you have a home setup now with quarantine in effect?
I do. And it's very hot. And it makes me feel like I'm in an insane asylum because
just like
because I had to like put foam all over the walls, and I also have like big comforters, so like it's like a lot of padding, and it's like we have a walk-in closet in our office, so thankfully like part of when we were looking for a place to live was like I needed a place that I could do auditions in. I never thought I would be using it for like real stuff, but thankfully it was good enough that I could turn it into that with a lot of ordering things and setting things up. But now I feel like, because when I'm in a real studio, there's usually like a window between the booth and where the director is, so I don't feel like I'm in like a box.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit bigger too. You know, it's a walk-in closet, but it's like not big. It's like 5 by 5 or something.
Yeah.
And
after a long time in a little room.
Yeah. Sometimes
I stand in your closet for like 3 hours.
Yes, and like scream into a microphone. And I went through so much of it was like one problem after another, because I specifically usually don't audition for things that would require me to record from home, because I just like going into a studio. I like going in, and then my job is to act. And then that's it. And now my job is to like make sure the audio is good and like make sure the studio is set up right, which is a whole nother set of skills that I just didn't really have. And so I was using my laptop, which I'm on right now, in the booth, but then the laptop fan would come on after like, half an hour. I figured it out now because I ended up we had an extra desktop. I took our other desktop that we weren't using, and now it's on the floor outside of our booth.
There you go.
I have to like walk around it to get in, but that had enough ports. So now I have the Ethernet, and now I can put the iPad, and now I have my microphone. But now this whole week, all my sessions have gone really well.
The next question is, what are your top 5 favorite anime characters? They don't have to be people you voiced, just like in general.
Oh my god, this opened so many doors.
I was like, the pool just got a lot bigger.
My top 5 favorite. Okay, Kyo from Fruits Basket.
Yes!
I like the twins from Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh yeah, they were so good.
I'm gonna say Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
He's
in mangas. He's in mangas.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, Sora from Kingdom Hearts is my BFF forever. I love him. I think Major Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. And then, man, I have to pick a 5th one.
Yep, one more.
Okay, I'll say Leorio as my
Leorio,
last
yeah, I love Leorio.
I
That's a good
love
one.
Leorio.
Leorio's
He's so
really good.
funny.
Roger
And I was
also really loves Leorio.
Yes, I was really bummed that he wasn't in it more.
Yes.
So here's what happened. So there are a few videos where I'm like, you know, it would be really cool if I was in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I don't think I'll be in it. Like, I'm not gonna be in it. Don't like definitely and that's fine because I just want to play the game. And then I was in it. So then I was like, oh. And I was like, oh no. It was really exciting. And it was kind of the best of both worlds because I play like background people, which meant I didn't like find out much about the plot when I was going in, which is one thing I was nervous about because I didn't want to. That's a game where I've been waiting for so long for that game, and I was, you know, that was a game that I played before I even thought about being in games in anime. So I like have a different relationship with it, and once you're in something, your relationship with that project is different. Like you can't ever really play it for the first time if you've recorded lines for it because it's just it just kind of feels different. Yeah. So thankfully, since I was just like people wandering around and like newscasters being like, "There's trouble," I was like, "Yay, cool! I know nothing."
Good.
Yeah, and I went in to record, and the director was like, "Okay, so like, have you heard of Kingdom Hearts before?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be honest with you." Yes, it's like one of my favorite games. I've played it since I was a kid. And she was like, "Oh, that's awesome because now I don't have to try and explain any of this to you."
And you're like, good. Nope, I got it.
Yeah, and I was like, "Totally." So then at one point she was like, "Okay, so like in this scene, there are these things. They're called heartless." And I was like, "Uh-huh, yes." And she's like, "Oh, it's so great that you know what that is. I can just keep going." And I was like, "Yeah."
You're like, "Don't worry, I got you."
Keep talking. Uh-huh. So it was really fun. And so I did just enough that I was like, "This was the best day ever." And I'm so excited. And then when I was playing, I was like, "I'm going to find myself." And I found myself on like all the places that I knew I would be.
Me and Roger spent like a significant amount of time in the Big Hero 6 world looking for you.
Yes. Oh my God. There's one line that I haven't triggered, but other people have triggered it apparently. That I say in Big Hero 6, which is like, if Sora like runs on a wall near some crowds, I recorded a line that's like, "Whoa, he's running on the wall. Like he must be using like wires or something." It was something like that. And I like really liked that line when I recorded because I was like, "Oh my God, that's so funny that they're commenting on his weird like video
weird
game abilities." Yeah. And I haven't been able to trigger it, but I've been told that it's in there.
We need confirmation, guys.
Yeah, I've spent a long time just like going near people in the town and then running up the wall.
And you're like, "Come on."
And I'm like, oh, I found myself saying other things in Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
But
I was like, me and Roger found a lot of them.
Yeah, I definitely.
We were really excited.
I know, I was so excited. Oh, and also Big Hero 6 is my favorite Disney movie. So
wait, really? That's literally the next question.
Yeah. Oh, it's Big Hero 6.
Well,
and so the like one.
I was like, I mean, you do look exactly like Honey Lemon.
That's what everybody said when we watched it. And I was like, "Oh my God, I love it." But so when I was recording for Kingdom Hearts 3, most of the stuff I did, it wasn't to picture, you know, because it's just like crowd stuff. So I don't need to see what's going on. But there were 2 scenes that were to picture, and they were both from Big Hero 6 world. And I was like, this is the best day of my whole life. It was so great. And then it was like, because I'm the newscaster in that cutscene when they're like talking to Hero in his little garage.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the TV and my newscaster is like, "Breaking news, there's the monster attacking, blah, blah, blah." And so I got to watch that part. And I remember like consciously being like, "Don't smile. Don't be like crazy. Just be watching the scene. Very important. Cool. Very good." And on the inside, I was like, "This is so cool. Sora's next to Hero. Look at them running to the screen."
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for being here and asking questions.
Yeah. Thanks for coming through to the stream. Thank you for coming to the stream. It's so much fun just to get to like talk to you.
I know, I miss you.
I know. This was really fun. I hope you guys had a good time. And yeah, make sure to follow Erika's YouTube. Thank you guys all so much for coming, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Yay! Bye! Bye.